Let me see if I can get one more. So, Larry, she's virtual. They may not be here. Somebody else will come. He may not be here. Someone else will come up. That's all you need to know, brother. All right.
Who's
Yeah, that's the only one virtual.
Michelle? Is he here?
Who?
Arthur Michelle?
No, he may not be.
I didn't see him during Rosh Hashanah.
He's not in New York. So they'll
They'll
have somebody else. We don't know who yet.
But it'll be somebody local.
Yeah, everybody will be from here.
You're gonna go say hi to somebody from class.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed, if you did this.
I did.
Steve Schilfin's listed twice
I didn't.
in the second group.
Oh, good. He'll help through. I don't.
So as it turned out, for these books, the first day I grabbed them. So, and then, because the ushers were collecting anything left on the seat, I brought them. So I said, oh, I want to see it. So I said, it's kind of neat. I'll keep this here for, I don't know. So I went looking where they collected it and brought it back. So I donated like, I don't know, 6 or 8 or 10 books. And my grandpa, that's right here.
Yeah,
George and Doc, whatever, everybody. So. I'm not sure other
mostly I don't ask me.
So the guy that just shaking hands with us, Michelle, that's this is my son, Glenn.
Hi, good to meet you.
My daughter-in-law, Melissa.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Tonight, and then they head back to West Hartford. So they get a meal tonight. We just stopped. We had dinner. Although she wasn't normally does good free stuff, and the restaurant didn't have as much as free. But I'm okay eating. It's just I get thirsty, and especially right after dinner. Just one reason why I stayed up this hour.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks early. So, anyways, I ended up going out and buying this morning. Yeah, the only thing that I have, the flowers are there, the corn stalks are there. I have a couple bags of gourds just to put around the flowers. I figure while the kids are decorating Sunday, they're not there for them.
I mentioned it to Muriel this afternoon. She was all excited.
What?
That the sickle was up.
Yeah.
I said, oh, the sickle was up. I can't wait to see it tomorrow.
Yeah. So the greens, they asked Marty. He thinks he may have some, but they know with these. So I'm not sure if it works.
You've told me.
Well, in a nutshell now, he wants nothing to do with Steve and I. If there's issues,
Well, you were telling me this the other day.
so I talked to him. He's you know, the political reasons, like just stand.
It's always the what? Yes.
I said, the issue is, I'm not even sure how much it's going to be. So I can watch Have you ever met my son? There's Michelle.
Good to meet you.
She's the one who does everything here.
No.
If we have any questions about anything, where the tour portions are.
Well, that's true. If there's a question they ask me, they know if I don't know the answer, I'll try to find the answer.
And then my daughter-in-law.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you.
So they will go tomorrow to
Okay.
the game. Probably more time. It's closer.
Okay. Yeah. I know you went to. No, but my grandson does. Yes, spent a lot of time doing it.
Yeah, that arena's not far from us. Well, no, it's not a big town. Nothing's far.
He's going to be 18 in November next month, so he's at Central actually now, and so he'll be playing hockey with them, but he can't play until he's 18.
Oh, okay.
In college?
Yeah.
It's not.
They're a club team.
I was going to say it's not a varsity sport.
Hey, it's that guy, Bob Smith.
So the rule is he has to be 18. So right now he's running on top.
Varsity hockey players, they want to be like 28. Do a year overseas, do a PG year, then go play for another team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 65. That guy, Bob Smith. Long time.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because both of his parents played.
Oh, he's got a lot of us.
And when he was younger, he played soccer.
Oh, I have
and
one
he
for
played
him.
hockey. and at some point he had to make a decision. And he went up to his mom and went, "It's okay, you can play hockey."
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's except that he was small. He's getting bigger now. He was small. So when they were allowed to check, it was like just the only saving grace was he was fast. So every once in a while, someone would come at him and he'd move out of the way and break into the court. And he'd smile.
I was small too. I stayed away from contact sports. In baseball.
Okay. Now he loves hockey. He'll play whenever he has a chance. Okay.
He loves it. Go for it.
He does love it.
What's he studying?
He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's majoring in math.
Okay. A lot of things you can do with it.
Well, he just doesn't know what he wants to do with it.
Just, yeah. That's a good place to start. Just keep it generic. And
He wants applied math, some sort of applied math. But
you don't need to know when you're 18.
no, he's already been accepted into the school.
Okay.
So, so that part's great. He'll make a decision at some point. Yes, time. Well, it was very nice to meet you. Shall we talk on again? Eventually.
She got a couple years ago with Richard Vice President. That's the things that I did. While you were out, I can say she. Weird. Who's doing this? Weird things to see. What needs to be done? So, do you remember Debbie?
Yeah.
She was what, 2 years?
Yeah, I know.
Her son Jacob.
He's always
But
got
she
the
actually got married. And her husband, David, he's going to take recognitions right behind you. That's fun. The old one. You may not.
I don't think you were ever in my class.
No, I wasn't.
But I took it.
Yeah.
Dan was the same age as my older brother.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
He's in Florida right now, drying out.
He's there.
In Florida. He lives.
Yeah, he was in Orlando. Got a lot of rain.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun, actually.
I always think that we forgot something. Did we forget something? I made this host. It's wrong one, right? Didn't I? Yeah. Okay.
It's 2 pages, so you're up to.
Are there?
You're up to 35. So a page and a half.
And what do we have on?
And the Zoom.
Yeah, where's it show?
Drop that down a little bit. Oh, no, it's not that. That's the Zoom page. You need,
This is the studio.
yeah, but you need one of the other pictures that it does. Nope. There it is.
Where? Oh, 16. All right. Do remember to hit the A.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were like our house.
So during COVID, when we had maybe 20 or 30 people here and several hundred on Zoom, we were highlighting.
Artie Seltzer's here.
I did see him, yes.
And you'll move, if you can, when you can, you'll move the
Live people.
live people, yeah.
So it no longer
kind of
does
annoying.
that. It
Apparently
used to
not.
do
Maybe
that.
there's a setting that we have to do. It's still kind of annoying that people don't.
So I can move most of the people up now.
Yeah, there aren't that many off the first page.
Oh, there are a lot.
You see the
second-
Scamblers.
Yes,
You see the Scamblers have the candle, the
yes.
Friday lights. Everybody looks like they're on mute.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Shabbos Yontif, please take your seats. Our custom here is that before Kol Nidre, while it's still not Shabbos and Yontif yet, we call on our president to give his holiday appeal and to give the president's award. One of the reasons we do this is you're not supposed to clap during services. Some people the other day were very nice and you clapped. I didn't mind, don't do it again. Probably won't want to anyway. But you're really not supposed to. This is a service. But the service hasn't started yet. So after the president gives the president's award, if you want to clap, you can. Our distinguished president, Jonathan.
Thank you. Yontif and Shabbat Shalom. A few months ago, I was sitting next to the rabbi during a Shabbat morning service. And like she does almost every month, Jerry Gadezer was about to chant the blessing for Rosh Chodesh. I remarked to the rabbi how many members have their special part in helping our temple. The rabbi agreed and also said, that sounds like a great topic for a speech, how everyone has their part. Since that conversation, I've reflected on how this temple would not succeed if not for its members and their unique roles and responsibilities, many of which have not been assigned or elected, but rather taken on by their own initiatives. From those who lead services to those who are on our Staying Connected committee, reaching out to congregants throughout the year, from those who create programs to those who fundraise so those programs can occur. from those who work to ensure events are safe and secure to the Social Action Committee providing assistance to our community at large. I could speak for many minutes about all the committees, programs, and events here at Temple Beth Shalom, but I would like to highlight just a few. After all, it's been recommended to me by past presidents to try and keep this speech short. The Adult Education Committee, chaired by Ira Kleinfeld, ensures that the congregation has programs throughout the year that educate and enlighten our members. Last year, the committee partnered with Congregation Michigan Israel and the Jewish Historical Society of New Haven on the Meeting the Moment program. The committee has recently announced that this program will continue for a second year. Linda Greengas has taken on the responsibility of running our grocery card program. Linda has made it as simple as possible for members to purchase grocery cards. You no longer have to come to the office and hope they are in stock. You can simply email Linda and she will work to deliver them. Ita Kaplan, Cheryl Rosenblatt, Evan Dworkin, and Andrea Smith make time twice a month buying and preparing kiddishes for Shabbat mornings. But we need help. That still leaves half the Shabbats. We need assistance. Can you do your part and help just one Shabbat kiddush this year? Even our younger members voluntarily take on their part. As a parent of 2 Hebrew School students, one of my favorite events this past year was watching our Hebrew School students lead various Shabbat services. Rather than have the entire school participate in one service, the school was broken up into small groups of various ages. Haley Weissman helped teach all our students to lead these services. Sitting up on the beam as ritual vice president, right near the students as they led services, I was able not only to see how excited each student was leading, but I could also see in the pews how proud parents and family members were of their children. So now the question is, what is your part? For some, maybe continue to do what you already do, maybe doing a little more. Maybe it's coming up with a new idea for a program. If you have an idea for a new program, let someone know. A few years ago, Rabbi Skolnick led a discussion of the book Where the Crawdads Sing. Afterwards, my wife Jessica was so excited about the discussion that she emailed the rabbi and suggested that there should be a TBS book club. Now, in just a few months, the book club will be reading their 50th book. Maybe doing something for the first time. For example, our ritual vice president, David Slossberg, is starting a new Shabbat program beginning in November. At one Shabbat morning service each month, we hope to honor birthdays and anniversaries and other simchas occurring that month. During the service, we are encouraging congregation participation in service, including Torah readings. If you haven't read from the Torah before, I know you might be more than a little nervous. It's been over 20 years since I've read from the Torah, but at some point in the next year, it is my goal to once again read from the Torah. Please look out for more information soon about these monthly Shabbat programs. All these parts and programs I've mentioned this evening would not be possible without financial support. Having served on the budget committee, we strive to keep dues at an affordable level. However, our dues cannot support all our programs. If you haven't already received this year's High Holiday Appeal mailing, you should be receiving it very soon. Your generosity will enable our committees to continue providing meaningful programs. Speaking of parts, now comes the part of the speech you've probably been waiting for, the announcement of this year's President's Award. Since 1991, the President's Award has recognized those members of our congregation who have done their part to make this temple and our community a stronger place. This year's recipient has been a member of Temple Beth Shalom for over 30 years. During that time, she's seen her son and daughter have their bar and bat mitzvah here on the Bima, and currently has grandchildren in our Hebrew school, where she taught for 10 years. Currently, she's on our Safety and Security Committee. Most importantly, she tirelessly serves as our chairperson of our Board of Education. All the past and current Hebrew school parents and students owe so much to her. She's the point person between the principal, teachers, rabbi, and the Board of Education, making sure that students' experience in Hebrew school is meaningful, challenging, and fun. During the pandemic, she coordinated with the teachers and parents so that each student would be able to seamlessly continue with their Jewish education. She helped create virtual classes where students could still learn Hebrew, Tefillot, and about their Jewish culture from various teachers. Every year, she helps plan multiple school events, including the Simchas Torah Dinner, Hanukkah celebration, and Purim Carnival, helping to bring the holidays to life for the students. Within the past few years, she has spearheaded a Young Families program geared towards families with children from ages 2 through 6, in the hopes of bringing Jewish education to our youngest learners and hopefully bringing in new members. And this past summer, she led the search for a new Hebrew school principal who is bringing new, exciting programs and opportunities for the students. Also, you'll often see her at the temple helping in so many other ways, such as organizing the classrooms and preparing kiddushes, just to name a few. So in recognition and appreciation of her long-standing dedication and commitment to improvement of our community, this year's President's Award is presented to Ellen Dworkin.
Thank you all.
Not so hot.
Shabbat Shalom, Good Yom Tov. Returning in our mock source to page 204. We'll ask those who will be holding the scroll of the Torah to come up. The ark to be open, please rise. Page 204, we're going to read in English together while they're coming up. Who can understand the source of our errors? Cleanse me of secret faults and restrain your servant from willful sins, and may not control me. Then shall I be innocent of wrongdoing, wholly clear of transgression. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my relief. Or Zarua, middle of page 204. Page 205, Kol Nidre.
Kol
Addressing the second group. The opening prayer of Yom Kippur is Kol Nidre, the annulment of vows recited at sundown on Yom Kippur Eve. The Kol Nidre service consists of the opening of the ark and taking out the Torah scrolls, reciting Kol Nidre, and then returning the Torah scrolls to the ark. Kol Nidre is the prayer which ushers in this holy day of Yom Kippur. It's the most famous one in our liturgy of the high holidays. Ironically, it's not really a prayer at all, but rather a statement that deals with promises, vows, and other sorts of verbal commitments commonly made in the course of the year. The Torah places strict demands on keeping one's word, and not fulfilling a vow is considered a serious misdeed. On Yom Kippur, when the essence of the soul is fully revealed, we express our real attitude towards the imperfections that might slip into our behavior in the coming year. They are thus denied and declared insignificant.
Kol Nidre Pesare Safarame Ekoname Ekinuye Ekinuse Ushivot
A careful understanding of the language and imagery of the high holidays provides a lens through which the power of Kol Nidre comes into focus. The vows that the song alludes to are akin to New Year's resolutions. By deflecting the impulse to make such resolutions, Kol Nidre acts as an antidote to our unhelpful reliance on willpower as the path to self-improvement. It points us instead down the more productive road of strengthening our relationship with what we most want to do.
חסדך, לך אשר נתת למתנו מצרים גד בינה ושממה.
ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כברך, ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כברך.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם.
שהחיינו והגיענו Baruch atah Adonai, our God, ruler of time and space, for granting us life, for sustaining us, and for bringing us to this moment. Please be seated. We are on page 206. The liturgy for this year is a little bit different because of Shabbat, and so we include some things that we don't do on other years. So on page 206, we read responsibly the first part of the page. It is good to thank you, Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God. Your creation, Adonai, gives me joy. I sing of your handiwork. The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this. But you, Adonai, are supreme forever. And you will raise my head high like the horn of the ox, anointing me with fragrant oil. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall endure like a cedar in Lebanon, transplanted in the house of Adonai, thriving in our God's courtyard. Please rise for the bar from page Please be seated. We'll read in English the second half of the page. Baruch atah Adonai our God, ruler of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who holds light before darkness, darkness for light, who makes day pass through night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai spoke his name, living and ever-present God, may you rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings the evening's dusk. Page 208, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael. Ahavat Torah u'mitzvot, u'kim v'spatim, otanu le'ma'adecha. Akin Adonai Eloheinu, Zaneinu u'lechuneinu, Nasiach b'kurecha, Nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki ein hayenu, Yivarech yameinu, v'achem ne'ev yomam v'avah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children, and speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. On page 209. Vayomer Adonai Moshe Lemor David El Bnei Yisrael Yamarta Yatsulaksisi Akankehem Litortam Vinatu Sisi Nakana Ketil Caleb Ayalachem Litzisi Uritem Kartem Ekomitzvot Adonai Vasitem Tam Vilotatu Acharei Levavchem Leman Teskuru Vasitem Ekomitzvotai Vitem Roshim Lehem Ani Adonai Elohim Asher Hoteti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim V'yodavchem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohim. At the bottom of page 209 in English, starting with the word truly, we'll read responsibly. Truly, this is our faithful affirmation binding on us that Adonai is our God and there is none other, and we Israel are God's people. God redeems us from earthly rulers. Our sovereign delivers us from the hand of all tyrants. God performs wonders beyond understanding, marvels beyond all reckoning.
God places us among the living and we just passed the call.
God exalted us above all those who hated us, avenged us with miracles before Pharaoh, offered signs and wonders in the land of Egypt.
By the close of anger, all of Egypt was born, but Israel freedom, but they couldn't
As their pursuing enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine.
Praise and acknowledge God's name, and accept God's will.
Moshe, Miriam, Nation, Israel, Lechanu, Shira, Anababel, Merukula,
Nichamocha, On page 211, we'll read responsibly in English. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully and to awaken again to life, our sovereign. Shield us, remove from us enemies and pestilence, swords, starvation, and sorrow, and remove the evil forces that surround us. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us and over all the people of Israel and over Jerusalem.
Baruch atah Adonai, according to our shalom.
Please rise. The Shaman, page 212.
Lifnei Adonai Titaru. Yikadavi Kadash Mirabai, Yamavi Rakudi Rami Makute, Nakayafon, Yomefon, Kayitabo Bit Israel, Bagalam Islam Karibibru,
Please remain standing for our silent devotion from page 213 to page 221. Sonia. Page 222, events in Shabbat. We do special Shabbat things by Yehulu Hashemayim on page 222. Even if you've never read any of the novels of Franz Kafka, you've been hearing his name your whole life. There's even a word, Kafkaesque, to describe dark, mysterious, and confusing narratives and situations. Franz Kafka was a Jewish man who only lived till the age of 41, dying in 1924, but he is without question one of the great writers of the modern age, and in a way predicted the Holocaust and a lot of the problems of our times. Kafka never married and never had any children, which only makes the story I'm going to tell you even more meaningful. When he was 40, a year before he died, Kafka was strolling through Steglitz Park in Berlin. He chanced upon a young girl crying her eyes out because she'd lost her favorite doll. Kafka offered to help her look for the doll, but without success. He told her to meet him there the next day and they would look again. The next day, when they still had not found the doll, Kafka gave the girl a letter written by the doll that said, "Please do not cry. I've gone on a trip to see the world. I'm going to write to you about my adventures." Thus began a story that continued until the end of Kafka's life and beyond. When they would meet, Kafka would read aloud his carefully composed letters of adventures and conversations about the beloved doll, which the girl found enchanting. Finally, Kafka read her a letter of the story that brought the doll back to Berlin, and he then gave her a doll that he purchased. "Well, this doesn't look at all like my doll," she said. Kafka handed her another letter that explained, "My trips, they have changed me." The girl hugged the new doll and took it home with her, and a year later, Kafka died. Many years later, the now grown-up girl found a letter tucked into an unnoticed crevice in the doll. The tiny letter, signed by Kafka, said, "Everything you love is very likely to be lost, but in the end, love will return in a different way." I'm going to read this again because I hope that you'll find it as important and as touching as I do. Everything you love is very likely to be lost, but in the end, love will return in a different way. We use the word love all the time. We use it in ways that could diminish it when we say that we love a sports team or a certain food or a TV show, but that's okay, because we know the difference between those uses of the word and when we mean emotions that are deep inside us. If you just take the Kafka story as an anecdote about a girl loving her doll and then loving another doll, you'll miss that it's not about the little gullible girl. It's an amazing insight. If you love people, one way or another, things will happen. And you may not be able to love them in the way you had, but your love will find ways to redefine itself with other people. I imagine love as light beams. And if I cannot see that person who I love, those beams of light will find other places to go, maybe new places I never even imagined. I'm going to apply this precious insight to other parts of our lives. But first, a word from our sponsor, God. I'm going to focus on one of the most important stories in the Bible, the burning bush, stained glass window number 3. The Israelites are slaves to a cruel tyrant who has ordered the deaths of all newborn baby boys. But one of those babies is put in a basket in the bulrushes and is adopted by the Egyptian princess. When he grows up, Moses goes out to see how his brothers and sisters are doing, and when he sees an Egyptian taskmaster killing a Hebrew slave, he cannot turn away and kills the taskmaster, even though he will put himself in danger. But instead of staying in Egypt and leading a revolution against the tyrant, he runs away to the wilderness, finds a wife, becomes a shepherd, and has a couple of kids. And he's just fine. Life is good, marriage, family, easy job with benefits, but he has pulled the wool over his own eyes. And then he sees a burning bush, and God is in the bush. And God says, "Moses, what are you doing here? I understand why you fled Egypt, you were scared, but you ran away from your purpose. You were saved as a baby in the bulrushes because you were destined to free the people, and you ran away. But I've come to tell you that you are about to be Moses 2.0. You're going to go back and save the Israelites." And Moses, God says, "I want to tell you my new name, because I am now God 2.0. You see, a person is defined by their name, but I am infinite, so I don't really have a name. Your ancestors knew me as Elohim, which just means God. But I now know that I'm going to have to be present in the lives of human beings in a different way. The Egyptians have enslaved my people and killed the baby boys, and I must get involved. And so my new name is Yud-Hey Vav-Hey, which means that I'll be present, I will be with you, I will not be transcendent and distant, I will be with you in Egypt, so tell the people that I will be with you." And Moses, you've got to understand that we are both entering new stages. You cannot hang out with the sheep anymore, and I cannot just hang out with the angels. Let's go, we've got a people to save. Moses had defined himself, but he was not fulfilling himself. He had settled into a comfortable existence. And the burning bush, I learned from my very dear friend, Dr. David Galerter, is a fire inside him, wanting to be more. It was not consumed. It was not consumed, though he was hiding out there in the desert. God had to appear in a fire so that Moses could realize the fire that was still in him. His love must return, and he must return to the people. Many of us are Moses, comfortable in our existence. We've settled for a life that is okay. But someplace inside us, we know that we can be more. We know we can be more. And many of us have lost a love, or several loves. And if anyone could really see inside us, we're like that girl in the park. But we're not just crying over a doll. We're crying for the loves of our lives. And that's why we must remember that the love, the fire, is still inside us, and it is not consumed. It is not extinguished. It will take new forms, returning in new ways. Everything you love is very likely to be lost, but in the end, will return in a different way. No one is like Kafka, but we all have gifts. There's another love inside us, and it is the love of being Jewish. On these high holidays, I ask you to think about what a Jewish you 2.0 might be. I talk with people every day who are eager to tell me about what I call their Jewish biographies. Your Jewish biography is about what kind of Jewish education you had as a child, or the kind of Jewish home you were brought up in, or why as an adult you chose to become Jewish, or what synagogue you went to, or the youth group you belonged to, or what Judaica courses you took in college, or your trip or trips to Israel, or what Jewishness meant to you as an Israeli, and so on. And even if you've not been acting on your Jewishness recently, you're proud of what you're telling me in that Jewish biography. Even if you haven't done anything Jewishly in 10 years, you're proud to be Jewish, your identity is strong. And in this last year, when it seemed in a way that hit us on the side of the head, that the whole world was against Jewish people, from the college campuses where you would think that educated people who scream against prejudice all the time would know better and act better, to the streets of the cities of America and the world, this year, when we were frightened and angry and frustrated and confused, and none of it made any rational sense, this year you were forced to think about your Jewishness. And it was hard to feel the pride you'd always felt while there was so much screaming against us. But don't let pure hatred with huge scoops of jealousy diminish your pride or dilute your identity for a second. What you should think about is what in your life you're going to do with your pride. What you should think about is how you might grow in your Jewishness, what your Jewishness 2.0 might be. All of us went through this. But one thing we did here at this shul is to go through it together. And on Wednesday nights, the Bible class that I've been teaching for 41 years went to 2.0. Turning into a kind of current events learning and discussion group. And we all learned facts with which we could counter all the lies. And we had a chance to express what we were feeling in a safe place with people who understood our feelings. And you could ask anything or express anything, and you were with friends who had the same questions and who understood what you were saying. And I have to say that for me personally, those Wednesday nights and a lot of Friday nights when we did similar things helped me a lot. I would say over and over, we're going to get through this together. I felt this way just a couple of nights ago when we talked about what's going on right now. And I have no idea where things are going, because we can only control what we can control. But I have a very strong feeling of a community that knows what it is, and that in a crisis, we really are here for each other. I give this as an example of what Jewishness can mean, what Jewish 2.0 for you might look like. It might just be talking with your people, not feeling alone. Now, our distinguished president, Jonathan Engel, talked tonight about doing your part. And we had not compared notes, so this is going to be really amazing. But I want to throw out a very specific challenge. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. What is the hardest skill in Judaism? Jonathan referred to it, reading from the Torah. The script looks like what you see here above the bima. No vowels, no punctuation, and you have to chant it according to the notes, but the notes are not in the Torah itself. You have to learn it in advance. But when you do, when you come up here and chant from the Torah in a service, there is no feeling like it in the whole world. You have done the holiest thing there is. So here's my challenge. I'm looking for 18 people who will read at least one aliyah on a Shabbos or a holiday morning this year, starting after Yom Kippur. It can be any Shabbos or holiday morning that's good for you. We can arrange it far in advance. It can be an aliyah as short as 3 verses, 3 sentences, but you have to do it correctly. No looking back and forth in the book like the rabbi has to do in a page. We'll give you a tape or an MP3. We'll give you the page from the Tikkun that has both the reading with and without the vowels. We'll practice it with you on the bima beforehand. And I will contribute $20 to the Izzy Judah Holocaust Torah Fund for each reader, but only if there are at least 18. I'm hoping that people will encourage each other. That would be 360, 20 times chi, which means life. If there are more than 18, I'll get $36 to the Izzy Judah Holocaust Torah Fund for each one above that number. Now, nobody gets grandfathered in. Even if you have read before or you read during the week, you have to do something on a Shabbos or holiday. By the way, Izzy Judah read Torah for the first time at a service I led at the Towers when he was in his late 90s. I'm just saying. You've heard of the Pepsi Challenge. This is the Izzy Challenge. Now, why am I doing this? I want to show you, not just about Jewishness, but in your life, that you can do anything. Again, this is the hardest skill in Judaism. If you can do this, you can do anything else. And you will feel your Jewishness in a very complete way. And this will prove to you that your Jewishness, which may be latent and quiet inside you, has always been there. Maybe you've been out there like Moses, content with life. But the fire is not consumed. It still burns within you. Like Moses at the burning bush, it's time to return to your people. As Kafka might put it, let your love of being Jewish come around in a new way. Let me be even more personal. Last March, the shul had a night celebrating my 40-plus years as a rabbi. It was a wonderful night for me in more ways than I can count. I even accompanied one of my grandchildren on the piano. I bring it up now because of one thing I said. I said, I'm not burning out, I'm just warming up. And when I said this, somebody in the audience shouted, yeah! I took that yeah as an amen, like, wait a bit. I'd like to thank that person for getting it. Every day when I wake up, even before I put on my makeup, even before I come to shul to say a little prayer for you, I think about the day ahead of me. And I thank God for the opportunities of that day. Even if there are sad or difficult things that I have to do, I think how I might do them as well as I can. And if I have a little time between things, maybe I'll be able to work on one of the projects I'm working on with friends and colleagues. I'm writing about things these days that I never even heard of, engaging in fields of ancient literature and history that I never would have guessed I'd be interested in. And as I'll explain tomorrow, I'm doing things in the community that I never even imagined I would be doing. Now, Me 2.0 is excited about every day. I take nothing at all for granted. I don't take any aspect of my health for granted. I try to work on my health every day. I know that every relationship I have needs attention and nourishing. There's a sign on the wall of the kitchen in my favorite TV show, The Bear. It says, every second counts. That's how I look at my time and every day. There's so much to do. There's no time to waste. If I don't have anything to do, there's something wrong with me, and I should think about doing better. God said to Moses, we both should be actively burning with our desire to help our people. The burning bush that is not consumed is us, you and me, and we have a lot to do right now. Kafka was a world-class genius. He knew nothing about children, and he turned himself into a compassionate friend for a girl who lost her doll. Franz Kafka, the author of The Trial, Kafka should care about a lost doll? He cared about the girl. It didn't matter if he thought a doll was important or trivial. He understood that caring about another human being is caring about them in the way they need to be cared for, not the way that we think somebody should be cared for. Kafka didn't know anything about children. He may never have loved a child before, but he loved that child. He expressed love in a new way. He understood the girl's need, and he used his gift of imagination in a way he never had before. Think about this. I'm telling you a story about something that happened 100 years ago, 1924. And we can feel that love between those two people. Kafka said that love returns in another way. Well, here it is. It's a century later, and it's still with us. We can see those light beams all around us. And that's how our love works too. We have suffered heartbreak. We suffer often in silence, privately, many years after a loved one has passed on. But we have to take that grief and love and put it into new ways. If we truly continue to love, even when our hearts are broken, then even when we'll just be figures in a family photo album, it will be our love that will continue through our loved ones, through the people we've helped, through the community we've built, through the country we've fought for. We all have opportunities in life where we have the choice to make a difference by our words and our actions. May we all choose to be like Kafka was in that story, understanding and kind, so that our love will return in other ways again and again. Let us say amen.
Amen.
Turning now to page 223, we'll rise for Yahweh. Please be seated. You're on page 224, about a third of the way down. We'll read responsibly in English the rest of the page where it says selections from the book of Job. We know there is a place where gold is found, and somewhere there's silver for refining.
Found where's the place of knowledge.
The deep declares, it's not in me. The ocean echoes, neither is it here.
Yet it has no natural gold in the last box. Not even
But wisdom, where can it be found? Where is the place of true knowledge?
God receives about God knows its place.
While peering to the ends of the earth, inspecting everything under the heavens,
Laying out the winds, pushing the water, setting quotas for the rain, fixing the roots.
God saw it and appraised it, examined it and plumbed it, and then God said to human beings,
That is wisdom, according to sense, that is true knowledge.
now on page 225, Hansham Allah. Page 226. Page 227. Still on 227 in the English, we'll read the stanzas responsibly. As clay in the hand of the potter who thickens or thins it at will, so are we in your hand, guardian of love. We call your covenant, do not heed the accuser. As iron in the hand of the blacksmith who forges it, withdraws it at will, so are we in your hand, support of the poor. We call your covenant, do not heed the accuser.
Will, so are we in your hand, good and forgiving God.
As glass in the hand of the glazier who shapes or melts it at will, so are we in your hand, pardon our sin and transgression. We call your covenant, do not heed the accuser.
As cloth in the hand of the graver, grapes are twisted at will, so are we in your hand, righteous God. We call your covenant, do not heed the accuser.
As silver in the hand of the smelter who alloys it or refines it at will, so are we in your hand, healer of wounds. We call your covenant, do not heed the accuser. Page 229. On page 231, we'll read the first section together in English, page 231. Even before I came to be, your kindness accompanied me. For from nothing you formed me. Who was it who fashioned me, spun the clay, fired the kiln, hardened me,
breathed life into me, opened the belly of the deep, pulled me out, who guided me from childhood to today. Give me understanding, filled me with wonder. Though I am like clay in your hands, was it not you who made me? Truly you, not me. Yet I confess my sins, and I say that I was fooled by another who beguiled me. Why should I try to hide my sins from you? For even before I came to be, your kindness accompanied me. We're on page 232, El Christian. We rise, page 233, 5 lines from the top. Shema Elena was the architect. Page 233. Hear our voice, Adonai, our God. Be kind and have compassion for us. Willingly and lovingly accept our prayer. Turn us toward you, Adonai.
and we will return to you. Make our days seem fresh as they once were. Do not cast us away from you. Take not your holy presence from us. Do not cast us away as we grow old. Do not desert us as our energy wanes. Please be seated. We're on page 234 at 1. Please rise for our Shamnu, page 235. The Ark of Open. Please be seated. We're on page 236. Letter Tav in the middle of the page will be the English for Chabad. You've always been known as the one who overlooks transgression. Hear our cries. We stand before you in prayer. Overlook the transgressions of the people turning from transgression. Wipe away our transgressions from your sight. You know the mysteries of
The
the universe,
universe, the deepest secrets of everyone alive.
You
From
probe
our innermost depths, you examine our thoughts and feelings. Nothing secret. Therefore, may it be your will, O God, God of our ancestors, to forgive us for all our sins, pardon us for all our iniquities, and grant us atonement for our transgressions.
We'll rise again. Page 237, as the ark is open. We're opening the ark in honor of Leah Mustang. Page 237, all page.
She's got candles.
All page Shatanu. All page All right, 237, 29 to 238. Please be seated. We are now on page 240, letter Bet in the English. To read responsibly, I'll ask the congregation to respond name, which means he will answer us. May the one who answered Sarah pass the time of her youth, Abraham on Mount Moriah, Isaac her son bound on the altar, Rebekah as her son struggled within her, Jacob at Bethel, Leah in her loneliness, Rachel desperate for a child, Joseph abandoned in prison, the Hebrew midwives as they stood at the birthing place, Yocheved having faith on the bank of the Nile, the people Israel on the shores of the sea, Moses standing on the slopes of Sinai, Miriam with her well of water, Aaron offering incense to God, Pinchas seeking his place above the crowd, the daughters of Tzlopchad standing their ground, and those who are righteous, upright, decent, and compassionate, please answer. We are now on page 245. We're skipping Avinu Malkeinu because of Shabbos. Page 245 for the reader's cottage.
Hallelujah.
Please rise for Elena, page 246. Please be seated. As we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, Israel's hallowed prayer, we insist, despite our woe and anguish, that life is good and life's task must be performed. During this week, we observe the following yahrzeits: Jacob Katzman, uncle of Rabbi Stuart Seltzer and Richard Seltzer; Leah Lefkowitz, mother of Arlene Matthewson; William Glassman, mother of Naomi Flom; Sophia Flom, mother-in-law of Naomi Flom; Seymour William Malley, father of Karen Malley Genovese; Alex Hallis, father of Doreen Skolnick; Eric Solomon, father of Warren Solomon; Gertrude Kahn, mother of Arlene Feynman; Sarah Esther Stein, mother of Patricia Kaplan, mother-in-law of Barbara Stein; Evelyn Seltzer, mother of Rabbi Stuart Seltzer, mother of Richard Seltzer; Joanne Bornstein Smith, sister of Marcia Bornstein; Myra Engel, mother-in-law of Sharon Engel, grandmother of Jonathan Engel; Sarah Black, grandmother of Stuart Katz; Theodore Stillman, father of Cindy Granner; Frida Zimmerman, mother-in-law of Charles Rhodes; Reuben Gonopolsky, father-in-law of Stephen Wildstein; Ruth Friedland, aunt of Sambra Weissman; Alice K. Horowitz, mother of Arlene Campo; Israel Chentichovsky, grandfather of Shai Dvoretsky; Lee Gilman, brother of Cherny Gilman; Matthew Granoff, husband of Christine Meng; Mildred Schlensky Kaufman, mother of Carol Robbins; Rachel Schlossberg, mother-in-law of Edie Schlossberg; and Samuel Senzer, grandfather of Rebecca Senzer. In solemn testimony to that unbroken faith which links the generations one to another, let those who mourn now rise, to magnify and sanctify thy holy name. Mourner's Kaddish, page 247.
Yitgadal, Shemei Rabbah, Yamad Yivrach Yutei, Yamlik Malkutei, Chayechon, Yom Echon, Uchayei, B'chol Beit Yisrael, Ha'agalah, B'zman Karev, B'imru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah, Yitbarach, Le'olam, Amen. Yisbarach, Yishtabach, Yishba'ar, Yishtaman, Yishnasei, Yishadar, Yishaleh, Yishallah, Shemei Kedusha, B'rehud, La'elah, B'kol, B'chata, 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 B'damata, Miran, B'amah, B'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabam Mishmaya, Nekayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Ru Amen, Oseh Shalom V'Raham, U'Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Ru Amen.
Please be seated. On page 248, we'll read the psalm together in English. Adonai is my light and my help, whom shall I fear?
Adonai is the stronghold of my life, whom shall I dread? When evil people assail me to devour my flesh, this day my enemies besiege me, stumble and fall. Should an arm camp be arrayed against me, my heart shall no fear. Should they war against me, this I will do for. One thing I ask of Adonai, this I seek, to dwell in the house of God all the days of my life, to behold God's beauty and visit in God's sanctuary.
For God to hide me in God's sukkah
On the
blameless
commandments
day.
day, for God to enfold me in the secret recesses of God's tent, I will be raised up in a protecting fort. Now I raise my head above the enemies that surround me. Come with offerings in the midst of God's tent, chanting and singing praise to Adonai. Adonai, hear my voice as I cry out. Be gracious to me and answer me. It is you whom my heart has seek my face. It is your presence I seek, Adonai.
Do not hide your face from me. Do not act angrily toward me. You've always been my help. Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me, my God, my deliverer. Though my father and mother abandon me, Adonai will gather me in. Show me your way, Adonai, and lead me on a straight path, despite those who hate against me. Do not hand me over to the grasp of those who besiege me, for false witnesses have risen against me. If only I can trust that I see God's goodness in the land of the living.
Place your hope in Adonai, strong, take courage, and place your hope.
Tomorrow's Yom Kippur service will begin at 9 a.m. Junior congregation will begin at 10 a.m. The service for Mincha, Easter, and Neila will begin at 4:15 p.m. Please join us for a break fast at the end of services. During the week, morning minyan is held on Sunday at 9 a.m., Monday through Wednesday at 7:15 a.m. Evening minyan is held on Monday and Tuesday at 6:45 p.m. If you do not have contact information for anyone mentioned in this week's announcements, please call the temple office. The Board of Education Committee will meet on Monday at 7:15 p.m. There will be a Men's Club Yiddish Alive advance on Monday at 8 p.m. There will be a Board of Directors meeting on Tuesday at 7 p.m. following minyan. The service for Erev Sukkot will be held on Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. The Rabbi's Bible class will not take place this Wednesday night. The service for the first day of Sukkot will be held on Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. The service for Sukkot's second night will be held on Thursday evening at 6:45 p.m. And the service for the Sukkot second day will be held on Friday at 9:30 a.m. The next TBS Young Families program will be held on Sunday, October 20th from 10 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. The topic will be Sukkot and Pastoral. That changed from last week. This program is geared for children ages 2 through 6 and their siblings. It is offered at no charge to both members and non-members. Registration is requested. See the temple tablet or the bulletin for the registration link. There will be a full document shredding event on Sunday, October 27th from 9 a.m. to noon in the parking lot. Cost is $10 to $20 per box. Plus, we offer hard drive and computer recycling for $20 per item. Please share this event with your friends and family. This fundraiser supports the TBS General Fund. Also on Sunday, October 27th from 9 a.m. to noon, the Diane Kaplan Social Action Committee will be collecting plastic bottles and cans for recycling and new school supplies for the MLP School Supply Closet. Please remove can top tabs for the Ronald McDonald House Aluminum Recycling Program. It is simple and helps. Worried about extremism and the election? Join ADL Connecticut and synagogues in the Milano program for the future fight against extremism and for democracy on Wednesday, October 30th at 7 p.m. in Congregation Renee Jacob in Woodbridge. Hear from ADL Associate Director Alex Friedfeld and FBI Assistant Special Agent Manish Shukla. The panel discussion is moderated by Lindy Lee Gold, who is the Senior Development Specialist with the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development. The registration link will be in the temple tablet. Diane Kaplan Social Action Committee supports the Downtown Union Soup Kitchen annual Thanksgiving turkey drive. This year, we are collecting money so that the committee members can purchase the turkeys. Desk prepares and provides a Thanksgiving feast for their clients. There are also opportunities to volunteer the week of Thanksgiving. You can sign up at the desk website. Please consider a donation of either cash or a check to the Diane Kaplan Social Action Fund. Thank you so much. CVS will be hosting a premium fresh fruit sale from November 1st through December 8th, featuring fruit straight from the groves of Florida. Ordering will be as simple as using your mobile phone, and for added convenience, the fruit will be delivered directly to your home on late December. Stay tuned for more details about ordering. Lastly, grocery shopping on your list of things to do. Don't forget to bring your gift cards. Stop and Shop, ShopRite, and Big Y are available for purchase at the Temple office. Board Morning Minion from Michelle Murphy, or you can email mbgreengas@tbsgiftcards@gmail.com. For all up-to-date Temple information, please visit our website and check your emails every Monday for the Temple tablet. Shana Tova, and after services, please allow those on the Bima to get to the door so we can greet you, along with our President's Award honoree, Ellen Dworkin, please.
Mazel tov to Ellen again. Shana Tova to everybody at Donut Olam, page 249.
Adon Olam Hashem Olam Yisrael Kol Nidre
Please rise for the closing prayer. Says Shalom Ramad, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Amen. May He who makes peace in the heavens bring peace unto us and unto all Israel. Let us say Amen. Shana Tova Tova.
I guess there's no clear.
Can't imagine there would be.
Yes.
We leave them.
No, we're supposed to take it back.
Okay.
I need just a few moments
Yeah.
to close up. Very benign speech. He was, I don't know if you heard. Well, not looking. Did you hear about him? No, I can hear you. Huh?
You told us.
Yeah. It was pretty. I'll have to get a copy of it from him. I heard tomorrow talking about the war situation. I thought tonight was pretty nice.
New.